Alright guys, as you can see, I have it on the jack. I got the front end lifted up a little bit. So, I might have to lift it up another hair or two, but yeah, also I just sprayed all the bolts with PB Blaster again, another quick time before I loosen everything up, because on my Harley, one of the rod right there with the bolts snapped on my bike, so I just want to make sure I get everything again. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Pretty soon I'm gonna start. I'll put a block under the rear, you know, just in case. I don't know how good that's gonna do, but yeah. So I'm gonna start taking off the front tire, taking the brakes off, and then I'm gonna take the forks off. And then I got the horn still on there. I'm gonna take the horn off. But it'd probably just be a little easier to get at with the forks off. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna start working on the front tire. Alright, as you can see, before I took the wheels off, I just want to make sure you check the manual just to double check everything. For the front wheel, it says front wheel spindle is freed by releasing the split clamps. So here's the axle. So I just got to release the split clamps. As you can see, there's these two guys right here. Just gotta loosen those up on both sides, and then the axle should just pop right out. Yeah, it's not like a nut. Like I have a nut in my Harley. See right there, but I still have the clamps. So, but yeah, so what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to loosen those up and pop off the axle, and then yeah, the tire should just come right out. So I'm going to get on that right now. Alright guys, as you can see, the tire's off. I just loosened up those split bolts, and I popped them right off, both sides, and the tire just dropped. So it was really easy taking the front tire off. Here's the front tire right here. Yeah, the axle is actually still in there, so I don't think it. I mean, I know I can come out, but it looks like there's a nut right there. Right there's a nut. So yeah, it's definitely different from my Harley. So, but yeah, and then to release the speedo cable. Right here, it's just one screw, and the speedo cable should pop right out. So I'm gonna do that. Take the speedo cable out, and I'll put the clamps back on and the bolts on the fork, so that will stay intact. And then I'm gonna take off the fender and brakes, and then I will take off the rear tire next. I'll do that, and then once I take the rear tire off, and then I'll start on the forks. Alright, the fender is off. It was really easy to get off. Basically, it's actually 8 screws, believe it or not. That's 2 on each fork, right here. So there's 2 right there. And here's the other 2 on the other side, and then there's 2 inside of the fork. So yeah, it's a 10 millimeter. It's 10 millimeters for that. I also forgot to tell you what size is the pinch bolts down here. Those were 14 millimeter sockets. So yeah, I just threw it over there, and I was having like a trouble at first getting the stupid fender out, and then I realized it was also kind of connected right here with the disc brakes in the front, the hydraulic cable. It just loops right in there. So I was like, oh, so I just popped that out, and it just came right out. So so yeah, so there's the fender. I think next I'm going to move on to the rear, start getting the rear tire off. I don't want to start taking everything off the front and then, you know, have the bike tip over. So that's all I'm going to do in the front for now. I'm going to take the tire off the back, disconnect the drum brakes, loosen up the chain tensioners on the back. And then I'm just going to push the rear tire forward, so I can get enough slack and get the chain off the tire. And then the tire should just pop right out. So, alright, stay tuned. Alright, I loosened up the chain tensioners. You see the gap right there. See, I tighten it, see it goes in. So I just loosened up both sides really well. Then you gotta take off this safety clip right here. So get a little screwdriver and just pull that out. Yeah, so once I get that, I will loosen up the nut. And then I'm gonna loosen up the disc brakes right here as well. So loosen up that, take that rod off, so I'll be able to get the tire off. Because otherwise, I won't be able to get the tire out. So yeah, so I'm gonna work on that. All right. As you can see, I got the safety pin off and the nut off the bike. I also disconnected the drum brake. It's just this nut right here, the screw. It basically tightens the drum brake. So I disconnected that. Pretty much all I have left to do is you can see the chain tensioner's really loose. Is just punch the axle through this side and pull it out. So I have a little hammer right here. And all you gotta do is just bang it through. If you can't pull it out on this side, I got a little chisel. I'm gonna use the butt of the chisel and just bang it through. So, and then once I do that, I got to take the chain off, and then the tire should just pop right out. So I'm gonna start on that. Alright, as you can see, I got the axle out. Here's the chain tensioner, and here is the spacer for the wheel. Here's the other chain tensioner. I got the chain off the sprocket, the rear sprocket, and I totally forgot to get that bolt off. It actually holds the drum in the drum brake, so just connected to the frame right there. So once I get that nut off, there's also a safety pin on there. Get the safety pin, get that nut off, and then she'll come right out. Alright, as you can see, the tire is out. It was really easy once I got that screw out of the drum brake. Just came right out. So here's the tire right here. There's the axle. I put the axle back together exactly how it came out. You know, I'm trying to keep everything together. So I got one chain tensioner, then you have the spacer, and the other chain tensioner, the nut, and the safety pin. So I'll keep all that together. So when I put it on the bike, it'll be really easy. Won't miss any pieces. Also, I put, I usually put all bolts and everything back on, so I don't, ever lose anything. It helps me know where everything goes to once I put the bike together. So there's the drum brake. I opened up the drum brake, and it looks really good in there. So, yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like I need to replace anything. It looks like someone replaced these not too long ago, so I don't need to get new put new brakes on them. But yeah, basically how the brake system works is you pull this lever, you kick it. Let me see if I can do it with one hand. Yeah, and they open up. See how they're opening, and it hugs the outer and it squeezes it out, and it stops the tire. So yeah, that's how the drum brake system works. Definitely old technology. They don't use that anymore. Everything's pretty much disc brakes these days. But I'm gonna keep the drum brake in the back. I like the look of the drum brake, so I will keep that system for the CB. So yeah, so I got the back tire off, front tire off. Next, I'm gonna start working on the front forks. I'm gonna take the the front brake off. Once I take the front brake off, I'll start taking the forks off, and then I will move on and take the rear suspension off, take the swing arm off, and then I'll take the triple trees out, and then this bike should be pretty much all apart except the engine. So that's pretty much all I got left to do.